We're live. Yay. Hey, how's everybody doing? Oh, hopefully my connection holds better than yesterday, but it wasn't too bad. The replay didn't come out too bad, so I'm gonna do it. Already got in contact with Santa, and so Tuesday we're on for Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to. I think I might have to learn how to do picture in picture or something of that nature. I think I haven't really messed around with it, but if I don't, we'll figure something out. If anything, he'll be on. I'll make a phone call and we'll do me streaming with that. So that's gonna happen Tuesday. And yes, I'm crazy and I'm insane, and I don't even have a favor to ask of Santa to do this because I've used all my favors. Anybody who's been following this from the beginning, and I know a lot of you haven't, I called for my 50th birthday. I called in every single favor that I possibly could. Anybody who even remotely did something or who would do something nice for me, or I've known for years, I asked to help with my birthday. And midway through, and actually in July, so 6 months before my birthday, because the COVID crisis was at an all-time high, I didn't feel comfortable putting people's lives in danger, even though people, even though, like people talk about like the risk at the time, and I'm more paranoid than I like to admit to, but I did get some pushback. I did get some, very disappointed in my decision back then. And if even now, like if my birthday was coming up in February, I would have probably canceled it again for next year, even just because of the Delta virus, even with a vaccine. Because at the time I did this, there was no vaccine even on the horizon, and it looked like people wouldn't be able to be vaccinated until probably March or April, and that's not enough to create herd immunity. And that was my thinking in July of last year. I didn't even realize that it was going to be an absolute and total freaking disaster, and where puts us where we are now, with now the variants on the way to I would call it I would say that they're being selfish, because they want to die, but it's beyond selfishness. It's like you don't even care enough about yourself to protect yourself. You don't even care enough to be selfish to get the vaccine. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yes, it's the fact that you do not care about society, and you do not care about this country, you do not care about being a strong nation, and you just want to burn it all to the ground. I totally understand that, and that's where a lot of people who are vaccine hesitant. I'll put it. I'll call you that. Or it's really anti-vax, but people who don't get the vaccine, who have it, when it's readily available for free and you can get it done and just get it done right away. It's beyond me how insane that is, that people just don't get it done. I've been vaccinated. I've had both shots, and I got it a few months ago, and I have to tell you, the experience was horrible. I don't like getting shots. I don't like being vaccinated. I freaking hate it. It's it's a bad experience for me, and I did get ill from it, and I did not like being ill from it, and all the other thing, anything that an anti-vaxxer would tell me um, could happen with getting the shot happen for me, and all my fears and everything like that, and that the feeling that this was not going away, that I'm actually sick from the virus and stuff like that after getting the vaccine, that all went through my head. The alternative to not getting vaccinated is very simple. It is painful. Catching COVID is not pleasant. I have lost family members. I have had family members who have recovered from it. There is no full recovery from COVID, especially if you've not been vaccinated. And I have family members and friends who are going to be living with the damage that COVID has done to them for the rest of their lives. And it's a shame that some of them got it helping others before a vaccine was available, and they're going to be dealing with that. But now that it is readily available, and I'm watching people still getting sick from it, still having permanent damage, or they die. People are dying, in droves still because of their anti-vax views, and it's like going, you don't understand. It's life or death. Get the vaccine, live. Don't get the vaccine, you will die. And it might not be, the immediate thing that people are going through, where your lungs fill up and you can't breathe anymore, and you're incubated and you die from that way. It could be irreparable. It's irreparable, but I'm going to call it irreparable damage to your lungs, to your liver, to your kidneys, to your stomach. And it doesn't go away. You'll have it for the rest of your life. And people who are vaccinated, even if they have breakthroughs, which do exist, from my understanding, that chance of having that amount of damage done by COVID is next to zero. And death usually isn't even on the table at that point. So, I mean, it definitely still is your choice, even with a government mandate. And, you should listen to the government mandate. You should do this stuff, protect yourself, protect this nation, make this nation strong, protect your family, protect the people who can't get the vaccine, who probably are desperate for it because their lives, they are the most threatened. And it's just absolutely horrible. That's my freaking stupid take on the freaking, the stupidity that 45 left us. His legacy is death. Going back to Santa Claus coming to town. I wanted to do. I've had one confirmation of somebody who was in crisis, who was no longer with us. And I have still no confirmation on a couple other people who I've just basically lost contact with. And I don't know if they're okay. I wish them well. I wish whatever they're going through and whatever place they're in, it's definitely better than the one that they were in when they contacted me. I want them to be alive. I want them to do well. I don't believe it's from my streams, because my streams have only had a handful of people actually watching them, and Unscripted doesn't even give a description of what I'm talking about. So I won't say it's from the stream. It's just basically clunky coincidence that the number of people in crisis in my life has now gone up. Um, this is Suicide Prevention Month, right? And I don't think that we should have a Suicide Prevention Month. Not because it's not important. I think that suicide prevention should be on our minds, and I think that it should be looked at for self. Reaching out for help is a good thing. Um, I am definitely not one of those ones that's going to tell you that whatever you decide is what you decide. It's I talking people out of freaking making a decision is insane. I just all I can say is that um, life is better with you in it. It is, and my selfishness wants you to still be a part of it. And though I'm not with you, and I can't see you, and we can't laugh and joke and do the things that we used to do years ago. And the people that I've met online who I've never seen, who I would love to see. I would love to, my life is chaos right now, and it's just impossible. And even if you do pass on, what suicide or not, life's the only thing that's not guaranteed. Death is definitely guaranteed. So if you do pass on, it kind of hurts that I can't even say goodbye to you. Um, um, so why am I doing Santa now and not Santa in December when I planned it? And this is a one-off. This is only one. I'm not going to do a series yet. If I do decide to continue it, it literally will be based on what happens with this, and I'm going to try to advertise a little bit more, and try to get more people involved and more people interested in what I'm doing, because it's important. It's important to you, even if you aren't. We're all struggling. We're all in chaos. We're all need a little bit of escapism. And yeah, if I'm going to do this in December, if I'm going to have Santa Claus come down, or um, Zoom meeting with Santa in December, then we I'm going to I'll judge how this does. This will have a few months before probably started around Thanksgiving, and work it all the way till Christmas Day, but um and there'll probably be some of the things that with the Christmas stuff doing that don't include Santa Claus, but for the most part it will probably be centered around Santa. So what do I need from you? What do I need from everybody? I'm going to probably be in the tweet. But if you have a question, if you have something you wanted to that you've been wanting to ask Santa Claus, this is not for kids. This is not I don't know. It might be family friendly all the way through. I'm not going to be in control. So I can't. I'm not, and I'm not going to censor Santa, and I'm not going to censor you. So if somebody comes in, with Vim, Verg, and this, we'll deal with that problem. But you know, I don't know if we can even call this safe for work. But definitely not family friendly. So that if I want people to feel free to ask any question that they want. I don't want it to just be centered around kid-friendly type questions or family-friendly type questions. Any question you want to ask Hannah, feel free to. On Tuesday, you can put it in the chat. You can ask then. If you want it to be anonymous, obviously that way I will screen the questions. So if your question is just absolutely abhorrent, it's probably the best word. It will be censored and not even be asked. I will not present questions like that to Santa, but you can DM me with questions and anything like that. And like I said, it can be any question that you want to know. You want to know how reindeers fly. You want to know how Santa gets to each individual house. You want to know if he's really knowing when you're awake and when you're asleep and those things. You want to ask about, well, I don't want to give away it. I'll let Santa ask it, but you want to ask him about his workforce, and or Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, any Christmas type things. If you want to know the meaning of Christmas and things like that, you can ask any of those things. You can ask him anything. Yeah, ask him what color his underwear is. Any question you want, it definitely can be asked. The next thing, there was so much I wanted to say, and my mind just basically just went blank, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think what it is I'm racing through with so many things I want to say, and I'm like going, oh, I got to keep this, and I have 13 minutes left before I want to stop this stream. Something about my history and stuff like that. Oh, copyrighted material and copyrights and stuff like that. I have dealt with this problem forever, and I am definitely take it seriously. I know it doesn't seem like that since I have copyright claims on my videos, but I am, it was one of the things about Games Workshop's Warhammer 40K that and this isn't recent. This is years ago. And with the third party models and stuff like that, and people even justifying, and probably rightly so. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's wrong. It just, I see it as somebody's art, and you're making a copy of somebody's art instead of creating it yourself. And then after you make a copy of it, you're now making molds, and you're making multiple copies of it. And I've seen videos upon videos upon videos of this, and people this, and if you have the trademark, copyright, or a license to reproduce and make, and in some cases, Games Workshop will give you the original models and stuff like that to reproduce models, or even molds. I don't know if they do that, but if you have the licensing for it, that's a whole different story. Make as much as you want, produce it. You have a license for it, produce it. Those who don't have a license, and the basically people who say that Games Workshop models are too expensive, I can't afford it. Don't fucking copy it. It's freaking like, how basic does it get? And even if you get away with it, even if they don't slap copyright claims on you and, cease and desist and all the other freaking stuff like that, even if they don't ban you from tournaments, even if you get away with it, it's still fucking wrong. Don't do it. Um, I am the victim of that, and I am not big and powerful like Games Workshop is. I do not have um, a slew of lawyers that I can send out around the world to stop people from stealing my work. Um, I've had models. I've had models stolen. I've had, reproduced is probably the best way to say it, but it's still theft. So they were stolen from me. I've had my writing stolen from me. I've had pretty much everything that I've ever created. Somebody has used, and if I really made a culmination of the things, I've won 2 Grammys. I've won a Pulitzer Prize. I've won, all these things. Like when people think about it, like they're like, "Oh, you made that." Yes, I created that. It's the reason why I take this very seriously. It's the reason why I still say it's wrong, even if you get away with it. Just because you get away with a crime doesn't mean that you didn't commit the crime. Sorry, it's still wrong. Don't fucking do it. It hurts. I'm in the current situation that I am in because not it's because I didn't protect myself properly, and it's like going, I should have to protect myself properly. But I have been on. In fact, I have not pursued any theft of my intellectual property, except once. Only once did I ever pursue it, and the reason that I pursued it is because I was accused of plagiarizing in college, and I was going to be kicked out of college and lose all my credits, and I had to do what I didn't want to do, which was I had to earn a lot of money real quickly. I had to sue the person. I had to regain. Like, there was a lot of freaking steps too. I had to regain, and I lost an entire semester of college because of it. I had to regain my intellectual property that I wrote, that I copyrighted, that I protected. I had to regain it after it was after the judgment was in my favor, and then I had to go after them again so that I can get reinstated back into college, and have the plagiarizing mark on my record stricken. And that's only reason. It's only reason that I've ever pursued it. I took it was for a writing class, and I was told to submit a piece of my writing for the class, something that I've written beforehand, so they can see where I'm at and where I need to improve to be. And I submitted an unpublished work, but I did not make it a secret, and it wasn't published, but it was definitely available, and I didn't realize how available it was, and a person took advantage of that, and they didn't just take that piece of writing that I used because it was random. They stole a lot of my writing, especially when I was doing when I was out of high school. I was trying to I was doing exercises in writing and trying to write in different voices, and while building characters. I was trying to build characters based on their, their voice. So I was trying to basically put myself in their shoes and write their stories. And they were background characters in a novel that I eventually wrote. And most of them didn't even have, they basically had, probably just a mention and barely even a description of the character. But I ended up writing full background histories of them, stories about them, and that's where they came from. And the person who stole my writing saw that, uh, took several of the characters that I had written about, doing that exercise with, and converted them into her own and published them. And a few years after that, um, maybe 5 years, 5 years, probably about right from when I did the writing, and I had people look at it, which is how this person gained access to it, for criticism, and people gave me decent criticism. I'm not going to say that I didn't grow from the criticism, but um, I just grabbed it. I didn't even really read it again. I didn't even really know what I wrote. Um, I just I know that it was a very emotional piece, and I figured that if there was something that I needed to have looked at in the writing chorus, that I wanted people to, so there's something that, uh, I wanted it to be as emotional as possible in the writing course, because that's what I wanted. That's where I felt I needed the most improvement, and it turned out that, that's not where they felt. You know, here's a professor now telling me what I need to improve in my writing, and I'm like going, I'm not in this with you. I'm in completely different. I'm on a completely different level, and not even a higher level. I'm in a different dimension in with my writing than you are with what you're teaching as writing. And yes, it might be fine for starting writers and stuff like that. And it's one of the reasons why I like how I do this channel. People say all this stuff about how to get viewers and how to get subscribers and how to make monetize, and somebody got monetized in 3 weeks and all that other bullshit. And guess what? That's not what I want. I don't want a fucking channel like that. Those channels suck. I don't like you watching them. I've watched a whole ton of those things. I've even made comments on where I see people going wrong, and I'm fucking ignored. So they can go fuck themselves. They all fucking suck. Every single one of them. There is not an instructional video out there, that's designed as an instructional video that is actually worth shit to me. It might be worth freaking gold to everybody else. They might be literally handing out gold bars, but it means nothing to me. The one video, and it's not an instructional, and it's the reason why I even watched this guy, and I based pretty much everything that I have on him, because he made a video about what the fuck is going on, how the fuck you make money making videos, what the purposes of making videos is, and why the fuck are you doing it. Those are the questions that I needed answered. Those are the things, where I need to put my passion in. Content creating is everything. Not freaking, worrying about the matrix and the algorithm and the bullshit that the thing does, because the thing is going to screw you no matter what. Just make the content you want to make and continue doing it. That's all I needed to hear. And that's what I've been doing. And yes, I always say that I'm doing it wrong. I'm just doing it wrong based on what the fucking instructionals have basically been telling me. And to give the person a shout out, it's Nux Taco, and that's freaking it's the reason why I made the response video to his Hamilton parody, and I made it a Hamilton parody, in the succession of the Hamilton parodies. I made 3 of them, so that's the reason why he even gets my time, because of how important, how much of an impact he made on me with his video that wasn't an instructional. It was just basically, this is what the fuck's happening with YouTube. And you're starting out new, you're gonna have a fucking hard time, and it's gonna be freaking dismal. And if you're not making the content you want to make, you might as well just shut your door, because people do that and they freaking shut their door. And when the algorithm doesn't like you anymore, you're shut out. And that's what I wanted to hear. That's the truth. Not this happy bullshit. Not this freaking like, oh yeah, look, I got monetized in 3 weeks. And yeah, I picked up all the bots, and I got the algorithm to work in my favor, and to do this stuff. And and I'm just making bullshit content that nobody's really watching. And, how these things, these bots and freaking shit like that are freaking just, designed to, have the viewing hours that I need. And they make the freaking thing, who the fuck cares? There's nobody really watching. Your shit's worthless. And yes, you came up in my algorithm because I did a search for you, because you were fucking tutorial. I really wanted help. I mean, even YouTube's online tutorial thing is based on freaking users and basically just looking to freaking make freaking content and to make money on YouTube. It's absolutely useless. I'm not that. When they say, oh, you're a small streamer with 500 freaking 500 subscribers. Well, guess what? I don't even have fucking 100 subscribers. I don't even have 50 subscribers. You're adding an extra 0 and calling those people small freaking content creators. What about the content creator that's a lot less than that? And just so you know, I'm 8 months. 8 months I've been doing this. 8 months I've been making videos, and I am not that much better off than I was when I started. I'm basically double. I've doubled my size since I've started. I had a quick 10 freaking subscribers, and after the 10 subscribers, I'm now at 28. So more than doubled. Triple. Let's call it triple. Since I've started, since I did the worst birthday ever, which was a week, closer to 10 days, which was 10 days of me making videos and stuff like that. Since that period ended, and I launched my page, and it exists, and that's when I was going to stop. Since that big debut of me, 8 months later, 8 months after that debut, where we are today, I am only 3 times as big as I was then. That's it. That's all I've gained. That's where I'm at. And as far as my viewing hours are actually less than they were back then. So the algorithm is never in my favor. And guess what? I'm fine with that, because YouTube can go fuck itself too, as far as I'm concerned. They're not paying me money. I don't owe them nothing. I don't even owe them this video. So if you're thinking I'm making videos for YouTube, I'm not. Let's get to what I actually do care about. I care about people, and my subscribers are now, I'm gonna, it might change. So we're just going to make it, this is where it is. You are my sparks. I am a spark. So That's why I liked it better than figment, because a figment means that if I'm a figment as well, I don't really I can't really like belong with you and stuff like that. And um, but I am my own spark, and I am your spark. That's what I would like to be, and you are my spark. Very simple, simple, and you can be each other's sparks. And basically, it's sparks of inspiration and everything like that. But you're basically a spark. So Sparks it is. That's my subscribers, because I fucking hate calling you subs. You're not submissive, and you're not unequal to me. I am not dominant, um, and you are not dominating me. But you are definitely not submissive to me. And calling people subscribers, calling them subs, means it feels like that's what it means. And I don't want people to be submissive. I want you to be you. Want you to want that glorious, 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 happy person that you are, and I would love for you to share it with me. And that's it. That's my goal. Very simple, simple agenda. Everything else is just icing on the fucking cake. But that's my goal. That's all I want. That's what I work towards. That's what all this freaking. That's why I sing. That's why I goof around. That's why I make serious videos and talk about hard to think subjects. It's one of the reasons why I claim that this is all works of fiction and nothing is factual, because I don't want you to I don't want you to deal with it. I think that dealing in the fact that this is dealing in the non-fictional stuff that I actually talk about. I don't want to be restricted. I don't want to be, worrying about whether, because I mentioned a company's name, that they're going to come after me. I don't want to worry about, because they can and they would. Defamation is a big fucking deal. And as much as they freaking hurt me in the process, they might come after me for freaking saying, tarnishing their image and stuff like that. I love Disney. I love Disney to no end, but I don't want to be restricted about not saying the ugly side that I've seen. I'm not saying that Disney's ugly. I'm not saying that in real life Disney is ugly at all. But when I talk about fiction, I'm making it up. So that it's all fiction. I'm making it all up. It, it it relieves me of the facts. It relieves me of the association making everything fiction. It's one of the reasons why I wanted you guys to. I wanted my community that I'm building. I was one of the reasons why I wanted you guys to be like works of fiction, imagination. Something not real, because real is banality to me. It's normal. It's all that. It's not weird. Weirdos even came up, as an idea for the community, and but I think my community of Sparks. I think Sparks works so well. I think it fits right now, and like I said, it might change, and we might become something more anti banal, and I would love that if that happens. But it's I like to Bruce Lee said be like water, so this channel is like water, and though it's only dripping, drip 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 drip. Um, eventually we might get rolling and running, and we might be a river, and we could even be an ocean. Yeah, an ocean is a multitude of drops. So, and drops also was an idea that I had originally. It was to call everybody drops. Um, drops is a really good one. Um, because but um, also the problem with drops or drips or anything of that nature is that drops means that you're dropping, you're falling, and we don't fall, we fly. So um, we rise. Um, and I don't. That's one of the reasons why I didn't pick water, because water seeks its own level, and we don't seek our own level. Spark is chaos. I like it. I like I like the fact that it's chaos. I like the fact that it's something even beautiful, something bright. A spark can be a lot of things, and the spark can be kind of harmful too. But we'll meet those challenges as those things come. So I like sparks. I'm going to keep sparks for now. So you are my sparks. Um, the next thing, and I'm already 10 minutes over. That um, yeah, I would love for everybody that I talk to, everybody that communicates with me, everybody who even says hi to me online. I would love for you guys to come and see this and enjoy, have fun. It's very relaxing. It's going to be chill. Not really planning an agenda or anything like that, and it's I want to call it a charity stream, but it's not a charity stream. This is not a charity stream. Not seeking your money. Don't want your money. Um, just your time. And I'm going to be giving my time. And um, you know, but it's you're going. I'd like people to help me help others, even passively, even just kind of goofing around and stuff like that. So make your questions crazy. Use the brain God gave you, as they say, um, and come up with something. Stump me, stump Santa. Um, you know, obviously, if you go a little, there is a line you could cross, and that are just it's just you know and it really delves into where let's not this isn't about hate and dislike and stuff like that. So let's not delve into that realm. Do not bully Santa. um it's not That's not nice. And yeah, let's stay on the nice list. Let's not get on. Well, you can be nice and naughty. Just not get on the list that where you never can be considered again in Santa's book. Let's stay that. Let's stay nice. Um, I I adore you. I really do. I care about you. I care about your well being. My mental health is probably not. I'm probably not in the best position mentally. Yeah, I love it when um, one of the major advice that people give is that the mental stress and stuff like that, and it's like going, just so you know, I will never be right in the head. I never, not even for a fucking second, will I be right in the head to do streaming and stuff like that. I am going to be awkward. I am going to be a little crazy and all that stuff, and I might even shut down a bit. Like I said in the previous stream, I was in the middle of self sabotaging myself to basically end this. I was going to basically put an end to all of this because of a lot of things that were happening, and not just an end to me streaming, an end to me even being a simp. I was, going to literally self sabotage myself, and I have no problem burning bridges. So I was going to burn it to the ground. And it, I've been talked off that ledge, and I've been talked out of it. And I can't thank people who are in the middle of their own fucking crisis, their own craziness that they're going through. I can't thank them enough for basically helping me. You saved me. Can you believe that? In the middle of everything that you're going through right now, in the middle of all this insanity of real life and craziness that's going on, I'm going through a lot of it myself, and I know that it's not easy, and I don't have simple answers and quickie comebacks and kumbaya and bullshit like that. I don't have any of that shit for you. All I have is that you talk me off my ledge, and I have done damage in. I have not been a kind person. I It's one of the reasons why I usually don't consider myself a nice person in that respect, because the damage I've been able to cause in fan groups that I belong to and nerd groups that I belong to, the sheer and force of destruction that I am, and then a lot of those groups, because I love it so much, I love the what it was. I haven't been outright, but I mean, from Star Trek and Star Wars, the two big ones because I was big in the conventions of that. I I left a path of destruction all the way till I got kicked out of Star Trek fandom, and what I did with Star Wars fandom, I can't even who the fuck would want me in their group after the damage that I caused? Who the hell would want me? That's how damaging that I feel like I've done. And I have people that wish me ill, not just ill death, because of it. Um, what an uncomfortable situation I put myself in that respect, because I still love Star Trek and I still love Star Wars. Um, the I remember, being one of the brown coats with Firefly, thinking that this will continue. They keep hinting about it, and they made a movie after the show was canceled. They made comic books after the show was canceled. They made a tabletop game after the show was canceled, and they even tried with 2 video games. And both those video games are still like in vaporware. And I remember after 2 years of waiting for the video game to get released, I finally had to admit to myself first that this ain't happening. And when I brought it to the community's attention, because I was big in it, I was strong. When I brought it to the community, I talk about like people to turn their backs on you, and you basically are giving them reason. And I always wonder, like, are these people the same people that follow Trump, or think the Earth is flat, or think that vaccinations, like what I talked about in the beginning about getting vaccinated, think that vaccinations are some freaking evil conspiracy meant to freaking take over this planet. I mean, it's not. The evil conspiracy, you have your freaking smartphone. You don't have to look much further about where people take control over you. You're controlled by your freaking cell phone. Why would they need to put a bug in you? Where are you without your cell phone? How many times have you left your cell? How many times have you been without your cell phone? Let's just even talk about what happens when your cell phone loses power, when they can't track you, when the power is out in your cell phone. What are you doing? Scrambling to get your phone recharged. I'm scrambling to get my phone recharged because I depend on it. They created a product that I depend on so much that tracks my every movement and has everything that is about me and my personal stuff. It's right there. I carry it around with me. It's got GPS on it. I use the GPS on it. It knows exactly where I am at all times. I am, you know, doing another hour stream, and but I I know that the people that I am talking to, I'm wishing them the best. I'm wishing them, happiness and joy and everything in their lives. But if I am not, and you're struggling and you're not in personal contact with me, I want you to know that I want you to be happy. I want you to feel fulfilled. I want you to have a good time. Enjoy. Life. When they say life is short, they're not kidding. It's short. It could end, and you know you could end it, and it's you do have that power. And I my moral compass of it being wrong does not matter, because once you end it, it's done. And I think that snuffing out a spark is a sad thing. And even if the spark is snuffed out, not wanting to get snuffed out, wanting to live is not a guaranteed either. Just wanting to live doesn't mean you will. And those people, um, I have not. I wish I could keep you all in my heart, and I can't. And but you were loved, and I care about you so much. And I, like I said, I've never, as destructive as I've been in my life, I don't even understand why people like to tear other people down. I, I, um, I only want to see the best. I only want to see you succeed, even if that's in conflict with me. I want to see you succeed. And, people don't understand. Like, people understand, like, even the people that have confrontations with me, except when it gets freaking personal. Once we get into personal territory, I am don't ever get into an argument. Let's stick with the subject, because if your contention with me is over the subject, not a problem. If your contention is over me or something personal about me, something you don't like about how I conduct my life, um, I will definitely delve into that territory with you, and I don't think you like it, because I've been fighting in those fights a lot longer than probably you have, and constantly. Um, I don't fight fucking fair. And if you get personal with me and you stray off the subject, and it's what an idiotic friggin' stupid, only a stupid idiot would come up with this notion, and not sticking with the concept that I'm wrong, but let's fix why I'm wrong, as opposed to it's a your own fucking personal thing. And yes, if you take something that you're passionate about, and I am criticizing it, I totally understand that you feel that it's very personal. But When I get personal, you'll know it, and it is not nice. I all the niceties in my critiques and stuff like that go away, and I'm brutally honest about my opinions on things, and I make damn sure you know that it's my opinion, and here are the facts that it's based upon, and that's where I came up with this opinion. But it's still just my fucking opinion. Doesn't mean I'm fucking right, and I am willing, more than willing. In fact, I want it more than anything for you to show me where I'm wrong. But you stray off of that, you go over here, we start talking about something that has nothing to do with it or very personal to me, and I will make damn sure you know what I feel is personal to me. And you want to attack those things, you want to attack my pillars. That's not a winning situation, because those are hills that I die on. I will die on those hills. Are you willing to put your life on the line for your opposition to me on that? Not your fucking opinion about some stupid subject that means nothing in the grand scheme of things. But you're going to attack one of my freaking my moral compass. You're going to attack my moral compass. You're going to attack my moral character, my who I am as a person. You're going to tell me that having that is the reason why I came to these conclusions, and it's nothing to do with it. I am, like I said, I won't fight fair. And I definitely won't fight fair. I will show you what passion about something is when you delve into that. And that people have seen where I make correlations and relations and stuff like that. And if it touches on one of my pillars, it's like you're going to have to come up with better facts and better things, and show how it does not relate, as opposed to instead, let's attack one of Sean's pillars. And my pillars aren't infallible, and they have changed, and they have moved, but it won't move in a confrontation. It won't move in a debate. It won't move in a discussion. Won't even move in somebody I love and I'm having a passionate conversation about. Those I don't think. There's things that I hold true. Truths. My truths I hold self-evident. And yes, I base a lot of it on facts. No, it has nothing to do with whether the earth is round or flat. Personally, earth being round or flat has no real effect on my life. I think it's absurd that somebody would hold to the fact that with the evidence of facts and everything like that, that they will hold to this freaking notion that the world is flat. Does it change your world? Does it change anything that the world being a globe? No. Flat Earthers has memberships all around the globe. They actually wrote that. So what does that tell you? It's not a freaking flat Earth. It's a globe. And and if you believe what they're freaking selling, just like being a member of the KKK, if you believe what they're freaking selling, then that you're a fool and his money is soon parted, and you are just wasting your money on foolish notions and hate. I don't delve in hate, and we'll end that. We'll end it on that. I do love you though, and there is no hate there. And I am, told you, I do have breaking points. I am very far from being infallible. I make mistakes. I stumble. I make my way through. I'm lost most of the time. Um, Doing streams and stuff like that. I have no idea. It's not my wheelhouse. I think singing is more my wheelhouse than streaming. So, and if you haven't heard my singing, I have over 100 freaking songs that I've sung. So you make the judge there. All right. I guess